Hey guys, Dr. Ben here at FA Well Centers. Welcome. Let's go over what I would do if I was going to be living to 100 years of age. And I want you to think about this as well. If you woke up today and somebody said, I guarantee 100% you will live to 100 years of life, you're going to live that long, what would you do differently? What would you do differently? How would you think differently? What would you eat differently? Would you exercise differently? Think about these thoughts. If you're going to live to 100, what are you going to do differently? So many people are like, I don't know if I'm even going to get past 60 or maybe 80, but I'm just going to retire and maybe go golf a little bit, and that's going to be kind of it. But here's the deal. There's a very good chance that if you take care of yourself and you do what you need to do, you can live to be 100 years of age. I see these biohackers and these people in the functional medicine space that are saying, I want to live to 120, 150, whatever. It's like, well, that's never been done, and the odds of that actually happening are pretty slim. Just genetically, humans just don't live that long. But if we know that people live to be 100, I was just down in the Ozarks in southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, where there are these cemeteries that are like 120, 150 years old, and there's a lot of people in there that lived in their 80s, 90s, even 100 years of age. So it's not this like new thing that people could live that long. So let's get into it. What would I do? And here are some things that you can do differently in order to prepare yourself for having the most vibrant, the most vital life that you possibly can. So welcome everybody. Put down below where you're watching from. Love to see you guys all over the country, all over the world. We have patients, and tell me down below what some things that you're doing now for yourself so that you have the most vibrant life possible. So if it was me and I was magic fairy dust put on me, hey Michelle, good to see you there in Kentucky. If I had magic fairy dust put on me and said I'm going to live to 100 years old and then die, Valerie in Saskatchewan, good to see you. This is what some of the things that I would do. Number one thing, if you guys have been listening to me very long, I love stabilizing blood sugar, and I would keep my blood sugar stabilized 24/7 all day, every day. I would get a continuous glucose monitor, and as long as continuous glucose monitors are the thing that we're using, and at some point it's going to move on to that next step and that next step, and we're going to have better and bigger and all those things. But I would use a continuous glucose monitor every single day. I would use that for the rest of my life, because I know when I'm tracking my blood sugar, it is so much more steady in there. And when I'm not, it's easier to fall off track and go, ooh, I'm going to have a few more potatoes there. I'm going to have a little extra snack. I'm going to have a little dessert, a little more chocolate, whatever it is. And so blood sugar stabilization, 85 to 110, all day, every day, is a crucial part. We could reverse or prevent up to 90% of chronic health conditions if we would stabilize everyone's blood sugar. Hey Deborah, good to see you there in Syracuse. I've not been back to Syracuse in quite a few years. That's where I went to undergrad. So yeah, here's the deal. Keep that blood sugar 85 to 110 all day long. Another thing I would make sure that I was doing every single night as optimal as possible is getting amazing sleep. 8 hours, super good quality, deep. I'm going to feel refreshed. All of these different things. Hey, good to see you there in Missouri. I just flew out of Springfield, Missouri airport yesterday. We were down fishing. So I would work on everything I could possibly do to get the best quality sleep. So not just, oh, you know what, I sleep pretty good, or sometimes I wake up or whatever, but no, I want every night, I want to get a good quality sleep. If I had a sleep tracker on, whether that's an Oura Ring or that's you're wearing a Fitbit or Apple Watch, whatever, are you getting optimal quality sleep? That has been shown to preserve brain function. That has been shown to rebuild and repair your body. So you've got to get that optimal sleep. We know that as somebody ages, and even in 30, 40 years, we'll probably be able to start swapping out organs and putting in new eyeballs and all kinds of things. But the brain, you are not going to be able to pull out somebody's brain and put in a new brain and go, oh, you had Alzheimer's, now you don't. Can you, Deborah, talk about chromium picolinate to stabilize blood sugar? It can help a little bit, and if you're already really close and doing things really well, but it's still a little bit high blood sugar, some chromium can be helpful. But if you're not changing day in and day out what you're doing and what you're putting in your mouth, food and liquid, then no amount of chromium is going to fix that, just like no amount of metformin or Ozempic or any of these new drugs out there. So you've got to stabilize it there. So stabilize blood sugar, get that good quality sleep. I would exercise, and exercise many times a week, like at least 5 days a week, as well as get additional movement in every day. So two different things. We have movement, which is going to be going for walks, going for a little bike ride, going up and down the stairs, doing those things, getting movement all day long. Exercise is where you're doing some type of physical activity where you're getting your heart rate up, you're building muscle. I was just with my 75-year-old dad, and a big thing that I was looking at, we were going up these rocks and different things, and it's like, even at 75, he has let some of his muscle strength go in his legs, and not because he's lazy or anything like that, but just he does it day in and day out, focus on it, and do step ups and continue to do that. And there's a very good chance, he doesn't have high blood pressure, he hasn't had cardiovascular disease, he doesn't have early stage Alzheimer's, none of these different things, he has no signs of cancer, anything like that. He might live another 10 or 20 years, but if he's already weak at 75, it is not going to be a good, fun next 20 years. I think people can live and be very functional up to 100 years of age, and that is a totally doable thing. So blood sugar, quality sleep, doing that exercise as well as movement every single day is going to be huge as well. And then we get into the part of the mental aspect of it and changing your mind frame. If you're thinking, oh, I'm 40, I'm 35, I'm probably already halfway done with my life, that has actually been shown to shorten telomeres. Telomeres are part of this genetic material that enable us to actually have a long, full life. And the certain things like smoking and drinking and certain things shorten telomeres. But actually, the one thing that has been shown to lengthen those telomeres as far as the thoughts go is the thought that, you know what, I am going to live to 100. I am going to do everything in my power, and my body needs to keep functioning vibrantly to be able to live to 100. So just by planning and saying, hey, okay, I'm 47, I'm not even halfway done with my life yet, that changes my genetic expression and changes my telomeres. And so we need to change that expression from I'm already past 40, I'm probably going to be done. My grandpa died at 81, my grandma died at 78, my other grandma died at 68, another grandpa died at 86, so I'm probably halfway done. No, that does not have to be it. They all have diabetes and cardiovascular disease and cancers and kidney disease, and they did not do what they needed to do to take care of themselves. And I am committed to being the best me possible, taking care of myself. And I don't have some, I've got to live forever mentality or anything, but I want to be the best that I can, and I want to be productive. And that's the last part, is to think about, okay, it's not like you're going to retire at 55 or 65 or whatever it is, and then you're just going to kind of sit around and you're going to do the crossword puzzles and maybe go golfing a little bit. You have to plan on being productive and continuing to provide value to humanity. And that, in the research, is one of the biggest things that keep people going. When one of my grandpas, when he sold his farm and moved in with my parents, within a year he died. He lost his value. He lost his getting up every day and digging ditches and planting things and doing all this stuff. We have to have a set game plan. Just like I say, for the morning, either you You plan your day, or your day plans for you. And so we've got to go and have a plan for our life and continue to set goals. Whether you're 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90, what are your goals for this next year? What are you going to accomplish? Whose life are you going to change? Hey, Carol, thanks for the kind words there. Yeah, telomeres. Search telomeres. You're gonna be amazed by what you can learn. So you've got to have goals. You've got to continue to set goals. Reevaluate your goals. What are you accomplishing? If it's just to get by, and like one of my grandpas used to say, I don't even buy green bananas anymore because I might not even make it. And guess what? He shortened his telomeres. So tell your loved one your plans too. Absolutely. My youngest is 11 years old. What's next? What's in 7 years? I sure as heck better have a plan. I'm not just going to retire and go sit on the couch. So I encourage you guys to do everything you can to start that mental shift of what would you do differently if you knew 100% you're going to live to be 100 years old. I guarantee you, just start jotting down some notes. Get out your notebook tonight when you're doing your journaling, tomorrow morning, whatever. Start journaling and writing this down, brainstorming. What would you do different? And if you need support, if you need help on that, if you don't know, reach out and we would love to help you with that process. Good seeing you guys. You have a wonderful day and take care.